Hi, me again. Um, Sorry for the delay in getting more videos out. We've been going through some of the feedback that we've been getting. We've gotten a little bit of spike in questions, and that's great. Really happy about that. We really want to get around to all of them, and we hope to very soon. We're not going to be going on one per week like we thought. What we're going to be doing is we're just going to be shotgunning a lot of them out at a time. So what we're asking you to do is if you're interested in the videos, go ahead and bookmark our channel, or even better yet, subscribe to it, because that would be kind of fun and awesome and great. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and knock out as many questions as we can in rapid order, so we can get up to the next one, and everything will be wonderful, and we'll all live happily ever after till we die. Um, in addition, I wanted to specifically thank the people who gave us the feedback that they would rather see comments enabled even if no one uses it. That way, people have the ability to go, I don't agree, I do agree. That also gives people the ability to comment on this without the webcam. Now, we did avoid that because people can be, let's be honest, douchebags in the comments section, picking fights and everything like that. And we really didn't want to have that happen. However, it is important to open up the field to something more than people who have webcams and want to do video responses, or people who are going to bother to email. Um, so from now on, we're going to go ahead and have comments enabled. We may even go back and retroactively enable comments on the past ones. So we're going to go ahead and just dive into this. Someone who'd like to remain anonymous is asking me, when you are saying that there is no God, isn't that sort of like going into a playground and telling all the kids there's no Santa Claus? No, it's not. And no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not. If I made anybody get this idea that I'm saying there definitively is no God, then let me go ahead and apologize now. I'm saying I don't see any proof of it. I don't see any need for it. Nothing that I've seen indicates a God, and everything that I'm seeing goes opposite of that. I also have some logical, rational reasons to not really see that being possible, but I know people who are religious, and I respect them. I see the joy that they get out of it, and a lot of people are able to quantify things. One person who's a very good friend of mine told me that she sees science as the language of God. This is not necessarily how he does things, but it's how he speaks. And you know what? That's a really great thought. That's a beautiful thing, and I can get into that. But there was this little thing that I did a video before called Hating on Religion, where I tried my best to make everyone understand that I'm really a fan of the First Amendment. If you want to believe in God, go nuts. Have fun with it. Just don't bring that into the field of science. Don't try to change what's in the science class. Don't try to mess things up and then go back uh, and say, well, they're wrong. Okay, where? And let us know and we'll fix it. That's the way science works. It gets better all the time. It improves. It improves because we can admit we're wrong. And that's something that I think is very important. In addition, I believe that the day that it's okay to walk up to someone of any religious view, up to and including none, whether it's someone who's a devout atheist, someone who's an agnostic, someone who's a deist, someone who's a full-blown Christian, someone who's a fundamentalist, someone who's into Islam. The moment we go, okay, that guy doesn't deserve to be covered under the First Amendment. Okay, once one of us goes, all of us goes. That's the deal. And most of the people who will say, well, this is a Christian country, they go on and usually they'll say something later on about our founding fathers. Our founding fathers were deists for the most part. I've actually read their biographies, I've read their writings. I'm really into them. As a matter of fact, if I'm going to express my entire take on religion, I'm going to have to paraphrase Thomas Jefferson on this. And that is, if my neighbor is a different religion than I am, it neither breaks my arm nor picks my pocket, so why the hell would I care? Now, if it starts to break my arm, or in other words, affect my life in a negative way, or pick my pocket, which is to take money either from myself or the money that I give to my country in the form of taxes, then I care. I don't think tax money should go toward a religious effort, but I don't think it should go to anybody's religious effort. We either all play or none of us do. We are strong because we're a secular society. We're strong because Jews and Muslims and Christians can go to school together and learn about each other and learn to be tolerant. Now, people will say multiculturalism like it's an insult. Well, the opposite of multiculturalism is homogeneity. One thing entirely. And everywhere we see that, we see people have a tendency to fall behind. Now, a lot of people will talk about the theocracies in like Iran and some other areas where they've had the entire country is run under their adaptation of Sharia law. The thing is in those countries, a lot of times their higher ups have come to school in the United States. Now, we are not the most technologically advanced, but anytime someone questions that we're supposed to be based on diversity, I question whether or not they understand what this country is about. This country was founded by people fleeing religious oppression. And quite honestly, if I wanted to have all the religions in the world end, I would want them to end by attrition. In other words, I would want them to end because everyone goes like, you know what? I've got enough hope in my daily life. I don't need this. I can see the beauty in nature without needing the filter of God made that for me. You don't have to be the center of something to see the beauty of it. And that's how I would like to see religions end. But if you choose to see it through that filter, good for you. Wonderful. Don't break the secular laws. Follow the separation of church and state, and we can all get along together. And that works. Now, breaking the secular laws would include faith healers who don't heal and use con jobs like I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to get sued, but there have been people caught using radios and plants and everything like that trying to con money out of people. That's despicable. Using someone else's faith to profit for yourself is horrible. I've studied religions. I've studied a lot of religions. And what I've found was they're not for me. I don't have a need for them. So that's my choice. Now, me choosing that means that if I had chosen uh, the Christian path, to stay on that, or if I had chosen Islam, or if I had chosen Baha'i, or or any religion, I mean, even if I became a Hare Krishna, that's my choice. And that's what's beautiful about this country, is that your choice. And you're guaranteed that baseline. Now, people will go on about Sharia law. Sharia law really doesn't counter the law of the land here in the United States. And most of the Muslims that I've ever met don't want it to. They're living by the laws of the United States. Most of the Muslims that I personally know are extremely patriotic. Um, it's a matter of I don't care whether or not you're a good Christian. I give a damn whether you're a good American. And by good American, I mean, do you love your rights and do you respect the rights of others? That's it. If you don't like something, vote. You have that opportunity. And it's a right. It's not a privilege. It's a right. It's something that you should do. It's a duty. And that's what I hinge everything on. Now, if I were to come in here and say, "Oh, well, Christians are bad and there's no God," I'm not saying that that's illegal. That's an opinion. That's also covered under the First Amendment. But that's not me. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, science is one thing that should not be acted upon by any religion up to and including atheism until it can be proved. And it just simply can't be. At least not yet. Now, if we get all the way to the beginning and we find out, yes, there is a God, okay, fine, great, evidence is good, wonderful, there you are. But until then, my answer of no thank you in terms of a spiritual path is just as valid as Christian, Islam, Baha'i, Hindu. It's something that makes us stronger as a people because diversity is the one thing that we have going for us that no one can take away. And speaking of diversity, over at exoticenvy.com, we're up to almost 2,000 adult toys. So if you're over 18, go ahead and go on over to exoticenvy.com and take a look. If you really want to be impressed, click on all products up at the top. I usually am cheap, so I go by sort by price, low to high, and then look at the little cheap stuff because, well, I'm a cheap bastard. But they have some pretty pricey stuff if you want to. Um, but to recap, I want to be accepted for my lack of an organized faith. I also want to accept you with yours. And that's something that is very important to me. But science is science, no matter who you are. So I hope I've cleared that up. And we did hit a bump with some people throwing in some stuff that I really didn't agree with, but that's something that I wanted to get off my chest. So try to be good to each other, and we'll be talking again soon.